everyone, welcome to Getting Crafty with Carrie, and today we are on a special location. We are not in my craft room, but we are visiting my mother's ranch. This is Marilyn, and she is hosting me this week, and so we are going to do our DIY craft together. My mom has a ranch, and it's called Upright Ranch, and it's located up in the mountains by Mount Shasta. She is a skilled crafter in her own right. She's a seamstress and a spiritual herbalist, and I'll put the link in my information for the video, and if you're interested you can check out what she does. But today she's going to be my helper. So today we are going to learn how to make really cute yarn pom-poms, and there's 5 different ways I'm going to show you how to make them. They all turn out the same, but there's different ways to do it, so you don't have to feel like you have to have any special tools. However, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to use a tool, and it's a specific tool for making pom-poms, and I do sell these, and they come in sets of 4 so that you can make various sizes of pom-poms with them. So I'm just going to do a little medium-sized one, and the way that I'm going to have you assist is I'm going to get it set up, but then while I'm talking about the other ways, I'm going to have you wrap yarn around it so that people can see just how easy it is. So the first thing is we have this special little tool that kind of clamps together, and you're basically going to take yarn and you're going to just, getting it started is a little bit iffy because it's kind of not really stuck together, but you're going to take it and you're just going to kind of wrap the yarn around, okay? And you're going to do that all the way down. So this one, you see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So you're just going to kind of fill up a whole side with yarn, and then we're going to do the same thing on the other side.
Over, back and forth over the same place?
So you're right-handed, so you might want to do it this way. So you're just basically going to hold on to one side, okay? Okay. And you're just going to wrap the yarn around until you get it nice and full.
Okay.
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 So while she's doing that, I'm going to show you another way that you can do it. So you can get a thin piece of cardboard, or maybe even the inside of like a cereal box, and you can make a template. And to do that, you can get perhaps like a cup or a plate. But the bigger the circle, the bigger your pom-pom is going to be. So keep that in mind. So I'm just going to kind of do just a little general one. And I'm just going to estimate. I'm going to cut this circle out of this cardboard. And again, the bigger your circle is, the bigger your pom-pom will be. So I'm just going to kind of give it as like a little estimate. You can keep going maybe about twice as much as that on this side.
Okay.
So once you have your circle, you're going to kind of cut like a little Pac-Man and make it almost like a little Pac-Man. And you're going to actually do this twice. So once I have my first one, so it's the same size, I'm just going to kind of trace around what I already did, so that the second one is easier. And I'll hold these up because it's kind of hard to see. But I'm going to cut out, so again, this can be out of a piece of cardboard, you can cut it out of a cereal box, but the idea is that you want 2 circles the same size, and we're going to kind of make it match. Okay. So once you have both of those, we're going to take yarn, and I'll do this one while you're working on that one.
Okay. And
you're just going to start from one side, and you're just going to kind of fill it up and just wrap it all around. So this will take a couple minutes because we need to really fill them up with yarn.
How am I doing over here?
Looks good. So now what you can do is you can kind of stop with that side, and we'll just kind of clip, and now you can leave it the way it is, and now you want to do the same thing on the opposite side for this tool that she's using.
Okay.
And then for me, I'm just going to fill up this 2 sandwiched together pieces of cardboard. So there was 2 pieces. You can see that they're on top of each other. And I'm just kind of going in circles and filling up this whole thing with yarn. And this pom-pom's going to be big compared to the one she's making, because I cut a decent sized circle.
Okay.
Okay. So while we're doing this, I'll talk a little bit. If this is the first time that you have found me, subscribe to my YouTube page. I'm going to be posting DIY and tutorials on different craft projects, on how to operate different tools that are common in craft rooms. And I will be posting those once a week, so I would love it if you follow me. And if you have any questions, make sure you leave them in the comments. Let me know. I will read them. I will answer you. And if you have a DIY or something that you would love a tutorial on, also let me know, and I'll do my best to accommodate. So now you can make this really, really puffy, but for the sake of time, I'm going to stop where I'm at. So as you can see, now I've kind of got this kind of filled up. But I mean, if I was making it for myself, I'd probably make it a little bit more fluffy. But I want to show you what to do. So now that this is on there, there's these 2 sandwiched together pieces of cardboard that we've basically have wrapped the yarn around. You're going to take your scissors and stick it in the middle, and you're going to slowly start to clip around through in between, and your yarn is going to come out. You want to make sure that you're holding on to your yarn so it doesn't all fall off. I did it kind of tight. So you can see I'm kind of snipping in between those 2 pieces of cardboard. Okay. I did it a little bit too tight, so it's not wanting to cut for me. So we're going to do it a little bit like this. Alright, and then before you let go of everything too crazy like, you're going to set this down, and you're going to take another piece of yarn and clip it off, and you're going to kind of just go in between that Pac-Man. You're going to slide it in between the area that you just cut. Okay? So you've cut all of your little fringes. Now you're going to put a piece of yarn in between those. Come over. Yeah. And just tie it real tight, and then it'll slide up and off, and then you'll tighten it up a little bit more. Okay, and then after you come off, you have your little pom-pom, so you can then turn around and kind of trim it. I didn't put as much yarn as usual, or else it's more puffy, but the idea is that you would cut after you've wrapped it. You cut in between the 2 cardboards, and then you tie this around it, and you've got yourself a little pom-pom.
Okay, well,
so
I'm interested to see how you do that with this.
So now we've got the same idea. Okay. So it's basically, if you put it together, you can see it's kind of making the same thing that I just had, right? Okay. Looks very similar, right? So instead, you're going to take, and you again are going to trim through the little edges here. Okay.
Okay. May I try it and see if it's not too
Be careful
difficult?
not to have this come out, because we're going to put another piece of yarn and tie it all together. So
just
trim in between what you just wrapped.
Okay. I certainly don't want to mess up your video.
No, not at all.
I'm being careful.
So you're basically
This is a nifty tool.
Yeah, it's a really cool tool.
Makes it very precise.
This one, it makes it to where all of your pom-poms are really nice and even.
Okay.
So again,
this is new
now
to me,
you have kind of like your top and bottom of your pom-pom, but the same thing. You're going to take another piece of yarn and put it in between the areas that you just cut.
Okay.
Okay. And then you're going to open this. And then it'll come off. And then when you tie it down, oops, didn't go in the side there. And then once you kind of open this up, pull it off.
Oh.
Boom. There's your little pom-pom.
I guess
you want to tie it real tight.
Something I didn't snip, it looks like. I better give it a snip here?
Yes, that would be fine. That one just didn't make it through.
Okay.
Got one more.
Oops. Can't see what I'm doing.
So now you can kind of see you've got your pom-pom. So you still want to kind of trim around to any like little spots that maybe are a little longer than another. And trim it and boom. Got your fun little pom-pom.
Yeah.
Okay, so now if that looks too stressful or too difficult, or you don't want to worry about templates or little tools, there are some other super easy ways that you can make these pom-poms with things that are in your house. First one, you can use some toilet paper rolls. Take 2 toilet paper rolls, and I'm going to have you working on that. Just kind of
here I go.
Wrap around and just really wrap around a whole bunch of yarn around these toilet paper rolls.
Okay.
And then I'm going to show you how to make it on a fork. So to make it on a fork, you're going to do basically, these are making smaller pom-poms because obviously the forks are small. And you're going to wrap your yarn long ways to where the tines are kind of facing out. You want them going over the tines. So you can see I'm just wrapping it around the fork. And I don't need a whole lot, but I'm just going to do it for the sake of the example. And then once I kind of have a little bit of yarn on there, I'm going to take another piece and I'm going to slide it through one of the tines of the fork. And I'm going to pull it around and tie it that way. So when it comes off, it hasn't been cut yet. So I'm going to tie it nice and tight, and then I'm going to go in and trim it. So where it slid off of the fork, I'm going to go in and just kind of open it up that way. Hopefully this is making sense to you guys, and that you guys can see it.
I'm understanding it, so. And I've never made a pom-pom before in my life, so.
So it's a little one. And again, you'll have to kind of like trim it up to the level that you want or the edges that you want. But you can literally make a pom-pom using a fork. Last way to make it, while she's still going, because we're going to have a really big fun pom-pom that she's making.
Oh, okay.
You
so
can be
just keep
you can be the
here.
finale. You just keep going.
Okay.
So another way that you can do it, you can even use your hand. Pretend like I'm a fork. You're going to just wrap.
Okay.
Wrap the yarn around your fingers. That easy. Just keep wrapping, 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 wrapping until you get lots of yarn. We're going to wrap, 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 wrap.
They just keep running away.
Just keep going with it. Snip it off. So now you have this. Now you're going to carefully slide it off of your hands. Okay? So now you have your round loop. And then you're going to take another piece and you're going to tie it around all of it. And once you've got it all nice and tied really tight so that you can see it's kind of got the loops from both sides, then you'll take your scissors in there and just kind of trim the area that was wrapped around your hands. And again, I'm doing this kind of rushed, so it's not going to be all perfectly even, but it's more to give you the idea, and then you can work with it and move a little slower and evenly when you're doing it at home. But you can see that you still turn out with a really cute pom-pom. Now you'll still need to like trim it up and make it even, and you can make them little, you can make them really fluffy. It just depends on how much yarn you want to use. The more yarn you use, the more fluffy it is. The bigger the circle or the amount of yarn that you're wrapping around, that is going to make the biggest pom-pom. So yours looks really, really good. So we're going to stop. We're going to trim this and then to make the pom-pom out of this, you can see that it's basically a bunch of yarn wrapped around the 2 toilet paper rolls. So we're going to take another string, and we're basically just going to kind of slide it in between the 2 toilet paper rolls. This is one of my favorite and easy ways to do it. So I'm going to start to kind of tie it, but I'm going to have her just kind of slowly slide out the toilet paper rolls. Like that. Okay. And then I'm just tying it tight. So again, same concept. I've got the loops are still in there. And this way you want to make sure that you tie your center before you cut. When you're using that template, you have to cut the outside first before you do it. And then you're just basically going to trim all of the looped areas all the way around. So you just kind of sliding your scissors in, finding the loop, and then you can trim it and make it kind of your own little level. Isn't that cute? You can put it on top of a hat. You can make like all kinds of crafts with fun pom-poms of different sizes. So there you have 5 different ways that you can make a pom-pom out of yarn. I hope that you feel like you've learned something. I appreciate my special guest today. And oh, there you go. Earrings, very
Whoops.
nice.
Oh, my earring fell off.
I appreciate you being here. Again, subscribe to my YouTube page, like the video. If you have any comments or questions, make sure you put them in. I'll make sure to answer you. You can find me on Facebook. I do a monthly live craft every month on Facebook there, and a new tutorial here on YouTube every week. So thank you so much, and thank you for hosting this week.
You are welcome.
And we'll see you soon. Bye.